Africa. In real life.
Oh my God!
3, 2, 1.
The politicians in this country are lying to the people. I don't like to challenge politicians, by the way, but I'm going to challenge you head on. Stop lying to the people of this country. We are sick and tired of your. We need you to tell the people truth in this country, because some of your mothers and fathers are also suffering because you're lying to the whole.
This intersection has been a problem for us for quite some time. We've asked JMPD to assist us here, maybe put up some speed humps to stop all of these accidents. We've got accidents here probably twice a week. Yeah, it's just a big problem as far as we really need JMPD or JRA to do something about this. I mean, that's the reason we raise this concern, is to try and prevent things like this from happening, because every time there's a life that's possible, that someone could lose their life because of this intersection, and JMPD and JRA not taking it seriously to do something about it.
I want you to see, I'm at Home Affairs in Johannesburg CBD. Let me tell you something. I am disgusted by the Minister of Home Affairs and his administration. These people, they must either resign or they must be removed with immediate effect. They don't serve the South African people. I'm telling you. South Africans right now are busy fighting for Operation Tutula, but at Home Affairs, they are making business here. When you come in, there's someone who stands on the line. They ask you if you have a 50 rand. If you have a 50 rand, they put you in front of the line. You understand? Then you go inside. They're making money. Then once you're inside, the Home Affairs says they are not using cash. They're not taking cash. Imagine, South Africans, 90% of the people who go inside Home Affairs, they don't have bank accounts. They're holding cash. Now, once you're inside, there's somebody holding a bank card inside Home Affairs. He's swiping for people. He charges you, he swipes for you the 70 rand that is needed. Né? And then he charges you an extra 20 rands. So you are giving him 70, you are giving him 20 rands. Now you are giving him 90 rands. I watched the man swipe for over 14 people in front of me. Now calculate how many 20 rands are that. Our people, they are coming from...
Police in Gauteng are hunting for a prisoner who gunned down 2 officers in Florida here on Gauteng's West Rand. They were shot dead while escorting the awaiting trial prisoner, Jabulani Moyo, to the Roodepoort Magistrates Court. Moyo is armed with a stolen SAPS firearm, the very same weapon that he used in the killings. Anyone with information is urged to urgently contact the police.
Is that our members went to fetch a suspect that was to appear at a Roodepoort Magistrate Court this morning in a case of business robbery that occurred in 2023. They brought the suspect to Roodepoort Court. He appeared in court. So then they had to take him back. So on their way back in this road, is then that they were intercepted, the suspect, and shot and killed. As I'm saying that, no, the information is still sketchy. We are not sure if there are other suspects who were involved, or is the very same suspects that they were driving with who shot at them. But we can confirm that their firearms were taken, and the very same suspect was seen driving in a police car after the shooting. But the police car it's an unmarked police car. It was later found abandoned a few kilometers from here. So for now, we opened a case of murder with 2 counts, and we've launched a manhunt for the suspect.
I think the former SG wanted to say he left us with a debt of 28 million. That's the mistake he made. From where we are sitting,
saying that instead of praising your COO for being honest, being a whistleblower, which you're refusing to call her, she received a suspension notice. You're getting a lot of flack at the moment. Just defend yourself if you feel you need to. Last question.
I expected that I would get a lot of flack because I think what the membership and the public would probably be assuming is that this was a retaliatory act on my behalf. But internal disciplinary processes are, by their nature, we are expected to follow through on those. And I think you would come across the term of consequence management. So there's no way that we would expect consequence management to be upheld if we are afraid to act. So this has got nothing to do with the forensic audit itself, but where I determined that there were transgressions in terms of conduct of the COO and therefore had to act. It was a necessary step on my behalf, and the process will run its course as is required in law and in terms of our policy.
As of for now, we have tried, to my understanding, no comment from the now suspended COO of SAMRO, but the CEO, Annabelle Lebete. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time in coming on to give us your view of how this has played out. SAMRO Chief Executive Officer Annabelle Lebete making time for us.
Yeah, so currently we're at the Diepkloof Police Station. Members of Operation Dudula have gathered here from earlier this morning, basically demanding the release of 3 women who were arrested yesterday outside the Lillian Ngoyi clinic in the Diepkloof area. They allegedly stormed into the clinic and went into the maternity ward, then tried to remove a pregnant woman, claiming that she was a foreign national. So I'm just going to bring in one of the Operation Dudula members, Tami, to give us an idea of what's happening here today, what are you demanding, and just give us clarity on what exactly transpired yesterday.
Okay, thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers at home. Okay, so we are here at Diepkloof Police Station as a result of three of our members which got arrested yesterday at Kos Lillian Ngoyi Clinic. They got arrested yesterday as a result of the patriots, South African citizens that have taken a stand to go and demand that illegal foreigners in particular that are coming into the country, stealing our medication, abusing our system, our healthcare systems, should not be given those rights, because constitutionally they are not supposed to get those rights. So these members were apprehended inside, and I know that it's going to be misplaced. The information has not gotten correctly. It's going to be misplaced. These 3 members had gotten inside to go and establish the facts, to go and find out who is an illegal foreigner in the country. They had not even gotten to ask those questions, but they were in the maternity ward to try and find out. First of all, when we conduct this operation, we engage with the staff first before we engage with whoever is not supposed to be there.
The community of Eldorado Park is reeling after the parents of 2 toddlers were arrested on charges of attempted murder and defeating the ends of justice. The victims are a 2-year-old boy and his 4-year-old sister. Their mother has confirmed to police that her partner had been sexually abusing the children. The little girl is now in a critical condition in hospital after she was repeatedly assaulted, allegedly by her father this week. Both parents are expected in court today. Anti-drug activist Derelene James has visited the family home last night. The Action SA MP believes drugs and substance abuse could also have been behind the spate of abuse and murders of women and children that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. Let's get more from Derelene James, who joins us now via our video link, and it's great to have you on the program. Thanks as always for making time for the SABC News channel. And on what a troubling story this is, Derelene. Perhaps let's take a couple steps back. How did you get wind of what might have been taking place in this home?
I received a phone call early yesterday morning, and it was from the perpetrator's mum, and just asking me to come and see her. I then later received several WhatsApp messages from various community members telling me what has happened in Extension 9, in Extension 1, and it's just way too quiet. I then proceeded to the mother of the perpetrator, and the community explained to me what had happened. It was sad at that point that SAPS didn't process the crime scene. It was sad to listen to what actually happened to this little girl. She was being brutally violated from 8 o'clock the morning until 2 o'clock the afternoon. Videos has been sent to me where she's screaming and crying, where her dad is biting her. It is now confirmed that she was sexually penetrated. He tried to drown her. I think I'm still traumatized by this. I got home early hours this morning, and I'm just deeply traumatized.
Yeah, difficult to imagine a situation where you aren't moved by something like this. What did you find when you got there, Darlene?
We found a crime scene full of evidence. We found a crime scene with a broom, a mop that had blood on it. There was clothing in a little bath, her T-shirt, his T-shirt that had blood on it. I think something that was holding the roof of the shack, and as he threw her against the ceiling, it actually fell down. So we found a community that was traumatized, a distraught community. While we were standing there, we received a phone call from the mum saying that she was at the hospital, saying that she's made peace and she switched off the machines. And hence I said this child had passed on. But minutes later, when we confirmed with SAPS, actually confirmed that this child is currently on life support at the hospital.
Now, the podcast has come under fire for derogatory comments about the coloured community. MultiChoice has since distanced itself from the podcast and removed it from its platforms. Zamantungwa Mbeki from the South African Human Rights Commission joining me now to talk about what we do in these cases. Zamantungwa, good afternoon and thanks so much for your time. And I'm reading some of these comments. They are in writing in front of me, made about the coloured community. I can't even say some of these words because I probably will be fired. I'm not going to say it, but absolutely shocking. And I think this calls now for obviously more control over what is put out on podcasts, because there seems to be very little control at the moment. What action are you taking, particularly, firstly, in this particular case here?
So the Commission, I must say, has received quite a large number of complaints from different sectors in society, from political parties to members of the community. They're really outraged, and not just colored people or in the country, but people from different races as well, concerned about the utterances that have been that were made on the podcast. So we are taking the matter on for investigation. We have issued a letter of demand to the representatives, and the Commission did note that there was an apology that we were advised that has been circulated, but it doesn't take away from the utterances as well as the harm that has been caused to members of the public.
I mean, extremely offensive from what I can see here. And I mean, it's one thing to say we apologize for what we said, then delete the clip and say it's never to be found anywhere. But it's out there. You've done it. It's already happened. Now, MultiChoice has distanced itself. Whether this podcast carries on, we have no idea. But that can't be the end of it. There needs to be some action, some consequences for the people who spoke those words.
Definitely. And I think as a journalist, you would understand that there are boundaries and regulations that you abide by as a journalist.
With regard to the national dialogue, I had a meeting, a fairly long meeting, with the PTT, the Planning Task Team, which is composed of people from the foundations as well as officials from the presidency. We had a lengthy discussion and we dealt with the extent of preparedness for the first convention, which is going to be on the 15th. And there was a sense in some of the quarters that we may not be as prepared as we should be. And it had to do with the level of preparedness. And then I raised a concern that the invitations have already gone out to 750 organizations. And many of those organizations have already responded that they are coming, they are willing and committed. Prior to that meeting, there had been a meeting of civil society where there were 100 representatives and who felt that they want to go ahead with the dialogue. So what was pleasing for me was that the foundations who felt that they are not so happy about the level of preparedness felt and said that they will remain part of this dialogue. So they will participate, they will remain part of it, and then they will leave the planning for the first convention to the civil society organizations and officials from the presidency. From what I gleaned, there was nothing political about it. There was nothing askew about it. It was just the issues of, are we as prepared as we should be? So it could be risky to go ahead when you're not so prepared, but I then said to everyone, go and make sure that we get ready as well as we could be and pull out all stops. Make sure that we hold a really good dialogue first convention. So that is the instruction I have given everyone, and they are now working towards delivering a good convention, the first convention. And in the end, the first convention really is not going to deal with the substantive issues. It is going to deal with the process, how the other dialogues are going to happen in various districts in our country, in various wards in our country. So the first convention will then be choosing a steering committee that will take the work forward. We'll also get involved in planning how that process will evolve. So in the end, there is no difference about substantive issues. It is peripheral issues that should never make anyone want to go and jump off a tall building. That should never give anyone indigestion. These are matters that are going to be properly ironed out as we move on. So in the end, the withdrawal of the foundations is not a train smash. The dialogue is going to go ahead. The people of South Africa want the dialogue to go ahead. And of course, with an undertaking of this nature, there will always be hiccups here and there, and various other dialogues that we've held in the past, be it the drafting of our constitution, even with the drafting of the Freedom Charter. There were some hiccups here and there, but what mattered was the outcome. So I'm focusing my eyes on the outcome, which is the substance that will come out of this dialogue, which will be charting a very clear path to where our country should be going to in the next 30 years and more.
So just for clarity, Mr. President, the National Convention will commence as of the 15th of August, just for clarity purposes.
The National Convention will commence on the 15th. I will go and do the opening address, and there will be some 1,000 people or so representing various sectors who are already gearing themselves up to come and participate. And the finance has been made available, the venue has been secured, the operations center or room is already in operation, the replies, the RSVPs as they call them, are flowing in. So people are getting ready to come and participate in the dialogue. So the show